What's up everybody, this is DeanoGTO and today we're looking at the AMX M451 and this is my brand new toy in World of Tanks. I've only played like 3 or 4 games in it. I free XP the turret, I'm not gonna lie, because I was looking at the 65T turret on it and I was just looking at it and it was just making me remember the pain of grinding through the MX 65T and I was just like, no, I can't deal with this right now. So I just went and changed it over to the top turret by using some free XP. So yeah, and when it comes to free XP, I actually used about 50k XP, free XP on the 65T to finish off the grind to this tank, because I'm just gonna warn you right now, before you go near the MX65T, be prepared to do 1200 damage and 800 damage in some games, because your tank is so goddamn slow, and the gun is so goddamn random. Like, saying that tank is horrendously shit is being kind. That tank can't hit the broadside of a barn from the inside, and if you dropped a toaster on it, it would probably get penned. It is so... its armor doesn't work, it's so slow, its gun is completely RNG based, it's just infuriating. But yeah, this video is not about the MX65T and how bad it is, it's more about this tank here, so yeah. So with the M451, it relies primarily on having this front armor pointed towards the enemy, which is going to be tricky on this map, because this map, it's World of Crossfires, because it doesn't matter where you go on this map, there's a crossfire, so pretty much my only option is to go up to the hill and camp. So yeah, this is going to be fun and engaging, gameplay. Let's see, so anything else I can do here? I'm trying to think of something else I could do. However, if I go to the middle, I'm just going to get wrecked by people who are hanging out up here. And it's not as if this thing's side profile is small. Look at how big the side profile is on this tank. It's about as big as the Marabreakers, if not bigger in some ways. But yeah, this machine pretty mobile, as you can see. This thing can actually breach 30 miles, or not 30 miles an hour, but 30 kilometers an hour without being dropped from orbit. Like, the MX65T, if you dropped it from space, it would probably just about break 30 kilometers an hour. This thing here, it can do it on the flat, which is incredible, because, oh my god, like, unless you drive the 65T, you have no idea. You do not understand what I'm saying, because it has like what looks like a great part of weight ratio for a heavy, about 17 horsepower per ton, but it's a lie. It's a complete lie. And it's so frustrating because this thing here feels so much, this feels like what I imagined the 65T would feel like, and it's just so disappointing how shit the 65T was, because like this thing, I thought the 65T looked cool, but the 65T is crap, so it's pretty much dead to me at this point. Meanwhile, this thing here, I've still got quite a lot of hope for this thing. Although from the few trial games I played on it, just to like get an idea of like how to actually play this thing, where to position it and stuff like that, and like what the exact playstyle is of it, because I wasn't sure if it had changed to the test server. But yeah, this vehicle has some pretty major strengths in regards to the front armor, and pretty solid gun for the most part. Although the rate of fire on the gun's a bit lackluster, but you can deal with that there because the aiming time and accuracy is pretty much flawless. Like this is probably the closest you're going to get to a medium tank-esque gun on a heavy tank. It really is, because I can't think of a heavy tank like this here that I've driven before at tier 9. Even the T10, which I always had rated as one of my favorite tier 9 heavies, the gun handling on it was nowhere near as close as good as this here. Like, probably the closest competitor to this in terms of gun handling was the Conqueror. The Conqueror had some great gun handling. This thing here is rivaling it pretty closely. And by the way, I'm talking about the classic Conqueror prior to FE215B removal. I'm not sure if the gun handling got nerfed or anything. Oh my god, this thing can ram as well. That was some pretty solid damage. I want to just try and use this guy as cover. Come on. Okay, thank god. Yeah, you need to keep people to your front. If they're not to your front, they're going to damage you. That's just the rule. If they can see your side armor, they're going to pan it. That's the rule you have to live by with this tank. And also, screw you, mate, for firing all the goddamn premium rounds in the world at me. Oh, was he on this side of the... No, he's not. The other side, but is he gonna crest that? To me, it looked for a second there like he was gonna crest that, but no, he didn't. Also, that T-4 lightweight has gone all the way down there. He's on our side of the map and he's still alive. I'm actually not even sure if people have noticed these are there. 112 should be able to finish him off now. Okay, I'll finish him off then. I've got no second remaining, and he's dead. Dead. Cool. Into the low ground. 2700 damage at this point. I'm actually not sure how much damage I did to that TVP by ramming, but yeah, it never even occurred to me about the ramming on this tank, because this thing here has actually a pretty interesting like situation when it comes to ramming, because it has that, like, I think it's 230 to 40 millimeter flat plate on the front. However, if you think about it, with most vehicles you're going to be ramming in this tank, this is going to be the bit they come into contact with. That's a 70-ton tank. So this thing has some serious ram potential. The one thing about it though is that you need to make sure that the front is pointed towards the enemy at all times. If you expose the side armor, prepare to be wrecked. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's see, so E75, what way are you pointing? You're definitely pointing this way. Oops, okay, so I heard the E75 fire, I think that was a 128 I heard fire, but I think I'm a wee bit slow in reacting here. And I hit the front plate, damn it. That was a complete snapshot, so I'm not really surprised that his up front plate, but yeah, a little annoying. I would have liked to have done some damage to him there. There it is there. Sweet. This gun is just, this thing is just satisfying to drive. Whenever you get a good position, you can actually use it correctly. This thing is actually really just fun and just satisfying to drive. It's just nice. Such a nice change. It's actually comfortable to play after the 65T. And look at that. It's just so like nice when it comes to like just driving and building up the damage and stuff. It's just good at. I was this 112 for some reason decided to face hug an E75, but okay. But yeah, 4200 damage. Like, and that was on a map where I was honestly going in thinking that this thing was going to be absolutely worthless, but that's actually pretty damn solid. Especially since I think it was only my third or fourth game, and that was only a third class, because, well, it was for Korovka, and also it was top tier, so that was also something to do with it. Let's see, so I actually made 35k in that game. I think I lost like 1000 health or something. Yeah, pretty damn solid game, pretty happy with that. Let's try another one, just see how it goes. So far my opinions on this thing here is that the mobility is so nice. It feels like a classic Centurion. Like, if you don't know what I mean by that, like, you know the Centurion 1. It used to be the top speed on that tank was 40 kilometers an hour. However, its maneuverability and stuff, and the acceleration and stuff were really, really solid. But like, whenever it's moving around at about 40 kilometers an hour, it feels like a Centurion. Like, the mobility and stuff feels good on it. Maybe not quite as maneuverable as a Centurion, and maybe not quite as quick accelerating as a Centurion, but it still feels pretty good, and that's probably the best idea I can give you about it, because I can't remember what the T11085 felt like, because I only played about 15 games in that tank and I sold it. But T11085 may actually be a better comparison thinking about it. Let's see, so we have a T54, they have a Batcheck 25 TFP. So this map, I'm going to just say right now, I'm going to call it right now, this is going to go one of two ways. Either their Batcheck goes here, fires down into here. If I push forward into this position here, I will get shredded by the Batchat and lose almost all of my HP. And I would like it if you guys could like do some damage to this Batchat. That would be appreciated. Yeah, he's going for the middle. I would like to do some damage to this guy, however, no. Yeah, he's gonna hold on to that middle ridge, and he is not gonna let that go. I can guarantee that much right now just by looking at the way he's positioned himself. Oh, that was lucky. I actually didn't even... I honestly didn't even think about the T10 there. The T10 was, like, secondary. Okay, yeah, this thing... I want to know where did that guy hit me? Wow, this thing is so tight in regards to, like, the angling of the vehicle. Like, if you angle wrong just slightly, you're gonna get punished for it. This thing is there's a lot of, like, this thing is gonna take a lot of practice to get fully used to. Oh, no. I was going to try and take advantage of a weak point I learned about the other day in regards to the T29 style vehicles. The actual roof of the turret's only like 38mm, so that means you can theoretically just overmatch it, but it doesn't seem to work for me. It seems to work when other people are shooting at me, but whenever I'm shooting at other people, it doesn't seem... See what I mean? See what I mean by that? Like, maybe my voice went funny there, because, like, I just got pained by a Black Prince. I mean, a tier 9 getting paid frontally by a Black Prince. Like, this thing, it requires precision angling. If you angle wrong in the slightest, then you're going to get panned. Oh my god, he is not using the top gun. And also, that was a pretty abysmal shot. I don't know why I didn't fully aim that there. Or, well, didn't, like, fully, like, practice where I was aiming that. I just kind of guessed and went for it. But yeah, I have an S6. He has an S6 behind him now. And, yep, was pretty confident I was going to depend on that. But yeah, this thing I think is going to be a master of the front scrape technique thing. This thing here, where you like poke the front around the corner, but you don't show anything more than you have to. But yeah, like if you're able to just like take your time, just be patient, don't rush, don't be too aggressive, just aim your shots. Yeah, if you aim your shots and you're just patient with the tank feels good. Like it, not really any serious issues that I can see. And the 9.5 second reload, it feels a little slow, but it's perfectly usable. There's absolutely no real issue with the reload on this tank, in my opinion. Oh, I thought that was a 150 there, and I was like, oh my god, no. But yeah. And by the way, like I learned that I was actually looking at the armor model before making this video. The actual cupolas on top of this tank are 100mm. I always thought they were 80 for some reason. But they are okay in terms of angling and they are rounded. So they're pretty troll in terms of their armor. And overall it's just pretty damn solidly armored tank. So there are some weaknesses in the gun mantlet as there are with every tank pretty much. But yeah, like, just in general, really nice tank to drive. And it's such a pleasure to drive this thing after driving the god-awful AMX 65T, waiting for a shot where I can track him, but that's not happening, so just take a shot. Ah, it took way too long. I missed out on a 4,000 damage game because I was trying to go for something sneaky. Ah, I should have just took the shot. Damn it. Another third class, high caliber and a steel wall. French tank with a steel wall. That's still bizarre to see for me. But yeah, so far, definitely a fan of this tank. It's just nice to drive. Like, there's just no real glaring weakness with this vehicle other than the side armor, but I think it's primarily a matter of practice in order to get used to that there. It's not like a giant flaw in the tank. It's more of just like adapting your playstyle to mitigate that weakness. And also trying to avoid showing these shoulder plates, because like in my practice games like I was having where, by the way, I'm just going to show you, my practice games in this thing went hurt. Oh, actually wait, oh damn it, that's right, I closed the game by accident. My practice games in this thing went horrendously bad. The first game I played, a T49 hit me for 1,000 damage in the ass, and I was just like, okay then, and then I got rushed by an E50 and died. Second game, I got heat spammed by an Object 430 version 2. And let's see, I think there was one more game as well, which I nearly did a video on. Yeah, there was one more. The other one, I think, was... what was it? I think it was on... I'm trying to think what the exact thing happened was on that other map. Like, I remember it was an absolutely abysmal game. I don't even think I managed over 1,000 damage. I just got wrecked. Oh yeah, there was one where I was getting spammed by artillery. Artillery does a lot of damage to this tank. I'm just going to advise you of that right now. Artillery, because the side armor on this thing is so weak, hitting to the side of this tank is probably like just splashing, like just normal splash damage from an artillery shot landing like here to the side of the tank will do a lot more damage than hitting the tank directly and hitting the front armor. It will do significantly more damage because I had a shot where I was hitting the front plate or the turret mantlet or whatever it was, and I think I took like 150 damage. I had a shot which landed right next to me and did like 490, and I was just like, well, that escalated quickly. Because I was thinking initially like, oh, as long as I keep my front towards them, I'm fine. Then they hit to my side, and I was like, oh my god, that is like the most deadly thing ever to me. So yeah, so far, just overall summary of my opinions on this thing after my first 5 games. Once you get out of the habit of trying to side scrape it, because it is a big machine, it does look like a kind of vehicle you would try to side scrape initially. Once you get out of that mindset and you start trying to like front scrape or front poke, I'm trying to think of a good name for that there. I really can't think of a good one for like the front, like angled armor poking around the corner. But yeah, like once you get adapted to that sort of playstyle and stuff, then this machine is pretty damn solid, and I can see why people universally just like this vehicle. There's nothing really wrong with it, but yeah, that's just my opinions. Let me know if you guys have driven this vehicle and do you like it, and which gun do you think is better, the 120mm which I featured here, or the 127mm which is available for 63,000 XP right here. So 127, I can already see, has significantly worse penetration stuff. It has a worse aiming time, worse accuracy and stuff as well as I would say probably pretty comparable DPM overall. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like which gun people actually gravitate towards whenever this thing comes a little bit more popular later on in the month, as people get through the MX65T and the MX M445. Like, just gotta say this is the last thing before I end the video. This line has the highest like number of shit tanks to go through in order to get to the good ones, because like, sorry, I had the burp. You go through the BDR G1B, which is probably the only like half decent vehicle in this line, because D1 sucks. D2 is kind of meh. Like, actually, honestly, Nick, no one cares about tier 2 and 3. Tier 2 and 3 are nothing. You get through them in no time. B1, I didn't have any joy granting this vehicle whatsoever. I was not a fan in the slightest. I hated that vehicle. BDR, once you get the top gun, absolutely fine. ARL 44, the classic version prior to HD, was absolutely fine. Loved it. Post HD, not so much, because the turret, the top turret changed significantly, and the actual like area of 30mm of armor, which everything in the world seems to overmatch, increased drastically. Like this, like everywhere that's not this trapezium shape here is just an overmatch zone, and it gets wrecked because of it. It is incredibly annoying, and I actually ended up selling mine, giving up on that tank because of it. M445, complete and utter pile of garbage. I don't even think I need to go into why, because it's basically, this thing is essentially what the Tiger was about 5 years ago, prior to the Tiger getting any buffs whatsoever. This thing is a complete and utter pile of dog shit, doesn't have any speed, and it has a rubbish gun. This thing here, exactly the same story, pretty much to the letter. And yeah. So, if you can go through all that pain, you can get to the good things like this, which is just a genuinely good vehicle. So yeah, let me know in the comment section below what you thought of that part too, like where I'm just like talking about like the actual line itself. So yeah, leave your comments in the comment section below, and thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.